You know? So speaking of how we're going to grow, we have the topic of democracy. That is very, very important. And I cannot wait to get to that because we've invited our very own lovely guests, people who are a part of the community from different places. And I would just love to introduce them.
Good day to everybody. Hi, my name is Juliana. I am originally from Pretoria, but I'm currently living in Cologne, and I'm one of the students that came here to study in Germany. I'm studying social and cultural anthropology as well as African studies, and I've been in Germany for 2 years now. I must say, though, Germany is not completely foreign to me because I am half German, but I'm fully raised in South Africa, in Sauda, so that's my home. So Germany is also still a culture shock to me, but we're learning to navigate, and this community means a lot to me. And I found out about it in the early stages as I got to know Bongani before he even created this community. So he immediately was like, yo, you're South African, you've got to be in. And that's just how it happened, and that's been it since then.
Hi everybody, my name is Sebangla Fanozi. I'm an LGBTQIA member and proudly Mzansi, and I'm an au pair. I came to Germany as a volunteer. I did my first year volunteering here as an FSJ, and I've been introduced to the German Mzansi Café as with a family member. And it has been great, and I found a home away from home with people that have been so inclusive and so accepting and tolerant. And it's been great. I've been having my life living as normal, normally as South African way. So
Sanmunani nonke makhaya, Patsi Moya, the girl from Soweto, guys, in Makasana, straight out of there. I've been in Bielefeld for 4 months now. I came as a volunteer as well, with a program called the Weltwärts, and it's been quite the journey, you know. I'm very excited about the upcoming conversation as well, so I hope you guys stay tuned in.
So hi guys, my name is Nati Dlomo. I am from Pretoria East, Pitori, and I'm here as a student in Germany, currently studying, and I got introduced to Mzansi Café through Juliana because we attended the same school for about 13 years of our life, so I've known Juliana since a very, very long time. So introduced me to Mzansi Café and the community, and it has opened a lot of doors for connections, for that feeling of home, and I couldn't be more proud to be part of such a very, very beautiful, beautiful community.
What does democracy mean to you in South Africa, living abroad, and also living in Germany? What does that mean to you in terms of democracy?
I would think that democracy means the opportunity or the freedom to express yourself, but to have certain freedoms that you do practice. So I would think that freedom to education, freedom to security, you know, it depends. Back in South Africa, freedom to security meant something different, or freedom to safety meant something different back home than it does here. I would say that different countries elaborate the freedom differently. And I would say that back home, there was a bit more freedom in terms of that one could express their cultures a bit more freely, or without the sense of feeling like, okay, I'm a bit different. Like you said, based on the tribes thing, you could, represent yourself from where you come from, what you are, a bit more proudly or a bit inclusively. So people would say, oh, he's from that tribe, he's from that tribe. And here, I would elaborate freedom or democracy in that matter. It would mean that the freedom to travel, the freedom for security, because Germany has exposed me to a different type of democracy, or maybe a more elaborate one on certain perspectives. So yeah, that's for me democracy. I think the opportunity to explore, and I think it depends the environment you're from. So yeah, I think that would be democracy from my side.
Briefly, have you experienced the same type of democracy in South Africa as you've experienced here while living in Germany? And be honest, Don't sugarcoat it. Co-aromate. We don't need no aromate.
Oh, you're asking me a very difficult question. I think that you experience very different things. I would say it's
one of the most that can,
Yeah, I think it changes. I mean, democracy in Germany and democracy, it's different. I think it depends, obviously, as a person, where you're obviously in South Africa. I was there. I've only experienced South Africa.
Of course.
And that makes a difference. When you get into a new environment, you get a sense, you get different positive stuff. So here, like I elaborated before, I can travel anywhere I want. I can feel safe without thinking twice. Compared to back home, you need to make sure that you get from A to B. You need to make sure there's transportation. The safety is not as good as here. Or, for education, you need to be in a certain class. I would say, or middle class for you to get a certain exposure to certain things. So in Germany, it has given me freedom. So in Germany, I feel that there is an opportunity to come, like compared to South Africa, I can go from nothing to something much easier here than quicker. Back home. But I think back home, there's so much beauty. I didn't, they say you don't know what you have until you lose it.
Yes.
And that's what I've experienced a lot at home. The people, in democracy, the people, the freedom that we have, and the type of freedoms that we do have, they are there. Maybe they are not looked upon or appreciated as much because the people don't know anything else, or the environment doesn't know anything else. So I would say you can't compare different types of freedom, and I think one should learn to appreciate both of those freedoms.
I like that aspect, making something also, because we're all living in Germany and we are home, away from home essentially, but we always will always make South Africa seem like it is cooler and better, and when actually there are also positive things about staying this side and the moves that we are making abroad, and also the moves that we're making now, even sitting in this room together in Mzansi Café Radio. So thank you so much, Nati.
What does democracy mean for me? I think, simply put, expression.
Expression.
Expression in all aspects, be it culture, being it communication, being it the way you, be it perspective, simply put, right? Democracy in Germany. Guys, I've only been here for 4 months, right?
Okay. So you are new. I like that. But then that's also always a very interesting perspective compared to someone who's been here for 5 years.
Right.
So there you can definitely be brutal, honest.
I can. Thank you so much for the platform, though. You know what I'm saying?
What we are as Mzansi Radio. We are unapologetic about our existence and our right to exist and the right to have opinions. So
they really do. For me personally, with what I've experienced so far, I think I haven't really been exposed. I haven't allowed myself to be exposed that much. And I've always been at home. Since I've been here, like I do what I have to do and then I go straight home. And I think the reason for that, if I'm truthfully being honest, is I am taking on a perspective given by other people.
Already.
I'm a Germans also.
Okay.
This is how Germans are. This is how they behave, and that is that. And I'm like, do I really want to discover this on my own and really be like disappointed?
So the social aspect.
Aspect.
So that's the democracy that is, or that's what's interesting about your democracy aspect here in Germany, is the social aspect.
It's the social. It's very interesting.
It's different, yeah.
It's very different, you know. You come from a culture where, like Nati said, you're very free. People are very free. People are very chilled, And then when you come here and you're trying to greet someone and it's like so cold, and you're like, okay, so what do I do? So I'm very like skeptical in terms of how do I behave as well.
Culture shock, yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of culture shocks. But honestly, so far so good.
Okay.
I try to not allow whatever that is going on here to change me.
Yes.
I'm South African, and these things that I'm familiar with, these things that I know to be the norm to me, and I like those things. I'm comfortable in those things, and I shouldn't allow something that's completely different to change those things.
Absolutely. Not to tarnish it. Not to
tarnish it.
Don't ruin it for me.
Don't ruin it for me. I like who I am. I like how I am, and you find people that you relate to as you go on. You find people that maybe like make you also not feel ashamed of who you are, which is very important for me personally. But so far, so good.
Okay, are we good? You've reached your destination, Mzansi Café. So thank you so much.